getting sore quads from running, I would have never guessed, man. I started getting a bit of cramping in my right upper outer quad, like that vastus lateralis, maybe the upper portion of that part in my right leg. I started getting that last few days. I thought it was interesting. Today I've woken up and I've literally got sore outer quads. I don't know if that's normal. I don't know what's going on. I haven't really done any more volume than normal in the front squats. But this running has produced this, I think. The lower leg soreness is there, my calves, the posterior tibialis, the whole Achilles complex, calf region in general is sore. Makes sense, I'm using that portion of the body as a suspension mechanism as I'm running, and that's severely undertrained if you're not running and being athletic. So I get that part, but the quads, that is really weird, really, really weird. In a way, if you think about it, if you look at it in a vacuum, running, or the way I'm running, kind of like jogging, like a boxer's run, is kind of like a pinch squat in a sense that it is a very, very high pinch squat. There is some knee extension happening. It's very, let's say, shallow pinch squat. But maybe that's what's happening. I don't know what this means. I don't know if it's beneficial. I know, when I've done pinch squats in the past, I've had good carryover for multiple reasons. CNS reasons, core reasons, and also general quad activation, because it's such a very upright motion that you think to yourself, okay, so what's actually going on here? Yeah, there's a bit of glutes, there's a bit of quads. You're very upright, but the weight is so heavy that it's a small range of motion, but it's extremely overloaded. With running, we've traded all that load for volume. So it's super, super lightweight. There's no weight on us at all. But instead we're doing, 1,000 meters worth of this stuff. So how many steps is that? Maybe 2,000 steps. Let's say every step is half a meter. I don't know if that's an accurate assumption, but maybe that's producing the soreness. The slow fibers are the ones that are in play here. It's very submaximal, so I don't really know what's really going on. But today, as I was running on the treadmill, I started getting a worsening of that, vastus lateralis pain. It started cramping towards the end, and I just finished the 1,000 meters as the warm-up, and kind of walked it off, stretched it out a little bit. It was fine. And then as I was running my post-barbell 1,000 meters, I got it again. And when I palpate over it, it's exactly, I don't know how I would explain it. It's the vastus lateralis, and it's quite sore on touch. And it's not sore for the whole length of the muscle. It's almost like it's a knot. There's a muscle knot midway, and it's maybe getting worked out with all these repetitions that I'm doing with running. But it feels good. It feels good. I actually am feeling more mobile in the squat. I feel like the whole posterior leg is getting longer. I feel like I'm getting a lot more dorsiflexion in my squats. And today, I don't know if you can see there, but I'm actually raising my heels off the ground because I'm trying to, get so upright. I'm forcing all my weight onto my toes. I'm really stretching out the whole Achilles calf complex. So running is a beast, man. Like I'm so undertrained when it comes to any form of athleticism that doing this, and I've started very, very slowly. Doing this is actually a humbling experience. If you said to me when I was 18 years old, go for a 500-meter run, and that's the end of the session, I would have thought, what do you mean? Like, are you injured or what's going on? But now 500 meters and my calves are lit. My calves are absolutely on fire. When I was 18, I was like 60 kilos. I'm 33 now, I'm 100 kilos. And I have not run at all for years properly. So that whole experience for the lower leg is the rate limiting step, really. You guys are talking about cardio being, the most benefit when it comes to running, but I'm not even taxing my cardio at all. Like it's just a muscular experience right now. It's just the whole foot, Achilles up to the knee, basically. That's the rate limiting step right now. But once I get over that, once, first or second week goes by, I would assume that there should be some acclimatization happening in those muscles, in those structures below the knee, and then I'll be able to really push the running. In fact, today I did 2 1,000 meter runs before and after the barbell. The second time around I did it basically the whole time. I did it with a 10 kilometer an hour run. So on the treadmill, that's what I put down, which is a pretty fast jog. I don't know, like I have not done that type of running, like I said, in a very, very long time. But I'm still trying to, put all of the pressure onto the balls of my feet. I actually watched a video one of you guys left in the comment yesterday. I forget the name, but it was some doctor, family doctor, some GP fella who's clearly passionate about running. And he was talking about how to run naturally, how to run bare feet on concrete. And he was basically striking with his forefoot. So I'm continuously doing that because I don't know if I'm wrong in that, but I feel like if you're heel striking, it changes the gait, it changes the mechanics, the cadence, everything changes when you start relying on supportive, footwear, because I doubt you'll be able to heel strike if you're running bare feet on concrete. I don't know how many times you'll be able to do that before you start peeling skin off and causing musculoskeletal damage. Basically, I'm trying to run with the same philosophies that I, use to lift, so I don't want a belt, I don't want knee sleeves, I don't want shoes, I don't want briefs, belts, all this sort of stuff. I just want to run naturally. But doing that is very, very taxing for the body because, if you remove all supportive gear from the run and you are not conditioned, then you are fully exposed. So either you put the supportive gear back on and you run, or you have to run without the supportive gear but very, very slowly ease into things. So this is where the whole 500 meter runs, popped into my head. I mean, I didn't really know it was going to be a 500 meter run until I got on the treadmill, started running 100 meters and a 200. And after 300 meters, I was like, okay, I'm getting really, really warm in the Achilles and the calf region. I got to not go for much longer. That's where the whole 500 meter thing happened. But I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it. I feel like there's a lot of crossover between squatting and running. Definitely for the lower leg. Is the lower leg really used in squats? When you look at it from the outside, it probably doesn't seem as, a big primary mover. But if you really think about it deeply, this is your base of support, man. This is your base, your foot. If your foot decides to collapse, and I know you could have collapsing arches because of hips, but let's say your hips are really strong and your feet are completely whack, really weak, undertrained like mine have been, because I haven't done any sort of running, any conditioning for the lower legs, then you'll start having collapsing of the arches, and then that further puts pressure on the knees and the hips, and then the whole system gets strained. So once you do a whole lap around the body, you realize that the whole thing is about searching and destroying weaknesses. And if you have a weakness in your feet, which clearly I don't have a reason not to have a weakness in my feet, because I don't run, I don't do anything other than freaking walk around as a nurse and as normal everyday living type of stuff. So now that I'm really, really training some of these structures in my lower legs, I've got like this mind-muscle connection with what my feet are doing, what my calves are doing. My calves are on the map, which has never happened before when I've been squatting, ever. So it's an interesting experience. I feel like I'm getting better at running. I don't know where this is going to go. Right now, basically, if I continue doing this, I'm running 14 kilometers a week. 2 kilometers per day, 7 days in a week, 14 in a week. That's a lot. But when you listen to some of the professional marathon runners, Kipchoge and all these people, like they spend 80% of their runs, 80% of their training really just greasing the groove in a way, like really light training. And then 20% is the proper hardcore training where they're pushing the limit. Maybe I could just live 100% just in that really easy stage and have a really high frequency, and maybe I'll improve that way. But I'm enjoying it. My body's feeling amazing. I've touched on some of the comments that you guys have been asking me. My hips feel great. My hips, my knees, my ankles, everything feels great. My body feels great. I've got a huge appetite. So I can't find a bloody negative, point here. So I'll continue doing this, and I'll continue exploring this stuff. The more I run, the more I realize that, man, some of these things that I've never thought about are big components. Quads are actually worked in running. Work that out. Appreciate all of you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.